4 years ago, I decided to say, I love New York, I love where I come from, but that's enough New York for me, and I decided to come back home. So Ciales, I always remember doing Christmas there. I always remember doing the parrandas, like the beach days. We'd go into the beach there, or the river days. Oh my God, the river days I always cherish near and dear to my heart. My grandma, she would be like, I'll hit up fulanito and we'll go take a drive por la montaña, vamos a dar una vuelta por la montaña, para tirarte para el río, para el charco, donde sea. So my grandma always was the coordinator. She always had everybody that's willing to drive me and my little brother around through Ciales of the mountains. So I just have only pure good memories of Ciales as a kid growing up, me and my little brother. My first steps, okay, I always remembered when Barack Obama visited PR for the first time, try to get an understanding of the people out there. There was this question of a potential change in the status of PR. I remember, like, I think it was like his first term that there was questions of possibly change the status of PR. I remember I got so hot and angry, like, and I was only like, what, 11, 12 years old, and I'm like, what is going, like, why change who we are? I don't want to be a state. I don't want to be a state. But that was something I always knew, because I just remembered that I was never treated equally as the average American. You know, yes, I speak English, you know, I'm from New York, born and raised. But I just remember that I didn't always get treated like I was from there. And that was something that always, like, stayed in the back of my mind. These kids at my school, it was like a majority white school. They never saw me as their equal, and they never treated me like I was their equal. And I always knew that this is my identity is who I am, and I'm never going to change that for nobody. So when it came to the early steps of my political activism, it was more like, I'm not like you. You don't see me like you, I'm not like you, and I don't want to be like you. And that's how I saw Puerto Rico with the United States. But I'm like, wait, what are we? And then I remember Barack Obama, there was an article that came out Barack Obama that he said he wanted to, like, see the status of PR. And there was a news article that said Puerto Rico could become a state soon. And we're still not. That was like more than 15 years ago. Here we are. But I remember I just was like, no, I don't want to be a state. I don't want that. I don't like these people. I don't want to be like them. I'm my own person. We're different. We speak Spanish over here, you know? And I remember that. That was something that always stuck in the back of my mind. But I always said to myself, well, okay, wait. I don't want to be a state. Do I like Puerto Rico how we are? I was like, yeah, I like Puerto Rico how we are. And then Barack Obama's second term, when he signed PROMESA, and that sort of ruined a lot of things, I was just like, damn, Puerto Ricans can't be on their own. They can't be independent. Those are my thoughts. My early thoughts, I was like, yeah, we can't be on our own. We can't do it by ourselves. But then I thought about it more. I was just like, wait, why do I feel like we can't do it on our own? Why do I feel like we can't become an independent nation on our own? I started overthinking, overanalyzing. I was just like, why? Why do I feel this way? And it was just a lot of internal colonization that I had to deal with, a lot of, like, layers that I was always taught, that I was just like, you need the Americans to survive. America's the only country in the world. America is this, America is that. And I'm just like, there's like a whole other world. People are doing well in Europe. They're doing well in Asia, you know, in Middle East, in South America. There's other nations that are just fine. So why is it that I felt PR needs USA? So these are the building blocks of what we're forming to become the activist that I am. I try to be, you know. People don't see me like that, but it is what it is. But these were the building blocks that I saw that were forming the person who I am in terms of activism, you know, and my political ideology and my beliefs.